Drake finally dropped what is meant to be his comeback album in Iceman, and today I will review this project in the most in-depth way possible. The intro is just classic timestamp Drake for you. On a slow, dark ambient production, Drake is on a very monotonous flow, referencing the battle against Kendrick. But he flips it to things that he's actually battling against, like aging, frustration, his label, and the fans that are complaining about Iceman before it even came out. Opposed to what Drake will be doing throughout the majority of Iceman in dissing his enemies, in this intro Make Them Cry, he was way more introspective and vulnerable. And he's doing that with decent lyricism too. I tell you what, Drake's pen is really underrated. You see, Drake is not the type of rapper to have very complex technical skills, but his writing is very witty, and it really depends a lot on wordplays and references more than entendres in general, which are often surface level, but he does that bar after bar, which makes it impressive. Here is an example of a very good wordplay and reference combination in a song like Make Them Pay, where he says, "And I face the way they paint me, but it hurts just like the Philly Eagles," where he's saying he's facing adversity from the people and plays on with the word hurt, comparing himself to Jalen Hurt of Philadelphia Eagles, who also faces criticism for his game. And Drake also goes on to play with the words face and paint, cause Jalen Hurts also wears face paint while playing. And apart from that, Drake is also good at flip lyricism, like in National Treasure, where he says, "They diss on the boy till they blue in the face. I put all the faces that's blue in the safe," where he flips the meaning of blue as in the notion of his ops dissing him till they are tired. That is, they diss on the boy till they blue in the face. 2. He's putting money in his safe. That is, I put all the faces that's blue in the safe. And apart from that, there are double and multiple entendres and one-liners throughout Iceman. But that doesn't mean he has barred out throughout. Of course, he had to give us those corny bars which sound so out of place and worsens the song quality. The most important thing that Drake has managed to successfully pull off in this project is to maintain a constant theme / concept throughout Iceman, which is, even after all my enemies try to take me down, I am standing 10 toes, and now it's my time to go back at them and protect my legacy. And this concept acted as the thread connecting all the songs in the tracklist, the best example being the Make Them series of 4 songs in Make Them Cry, Make Them Pay, Make Them Remember, and finally Make Them Know. And all 4 of these tracks are very diss heavy, aimed at Kendrick Lamar, J.Cole, Dr.Dre, DJ Khaled, Pharrell, Rick Ross, his label, and Lebron James. And he didn't stop there. He also dissed artists like Jay-Z, A$AP Rocky, Playboi, Carti, and a lot more throughout Iceman. And it's not like it's only dissing and dissing throughout Iceman. There is a lot of introspective raps too in songs like Make Them Cry, Make Them Know, and From Friends, where he's very vulnerable, talking about what he has been going through, him being under constant scrutiny from the public, loyalty from close ones, and friends who remained silent, playing both sides during the beef, and how it made Drake lose his innocence and he's way more tough now. And now there are a lot of people who are complaining why Drake is still dissing his opponents. It has already been 2 years he got defeated by Kendrick Lamar. He should just move on. Well, I already did predict before Iceman even came out that it would be a very diss heavy project where Drake will address all the people he feels have done him wrong and dissed him. Drake should diss every rapper who has betrayed him or sneak dissed him ever since Like That dropped. You see, there is a big narrative floating around, and in all fairness, Drake has all the right to do so, cause you are always meant to protect your art and legacy from people who are trying to take you down. And this exact notion helped Drake in making the whole soul of Iceman come under one roof, making it a complete body of work, which seems like it's a continuation of the rap beef of 2024. As if you see the album cover, Drake is wearing the Michael Jackson gloves throwing the 6, which might seem like it's a surface level play representing Drake's commercial success and how he has previously tied Michael Jackson records and he might even break them in the future. But what Drake is actually doing is he is doubling down, playing the role of Michael Jackson, which he first referenced in First Person Shooter, which later got flipped by Kendrick Lamar in Like That, saying how Prince outlived Michael Jackson. I also love how Drake was using vocal modulations on songs like Whisper My Name and Janice Shut the F Up. While they are good songs on their own, but the different vocal textures, like on the chorus of Janice Shut the F Up, it really made them songs have a darker sound. Talking about rapping intensity, there is decent to good level of cinematic rapping in tracks like National Treasure and Plot Twist, where the production is very grand. Though I have to say this, the beat switches in this album are often successful in ruining some of the best tracks like a National Treasure or a Whisper My Name. While the beat switches are not bad in themselves, but Drake fails to follow through. Thus, there is a clear downgrade in the quality of the songs. The only time he did the beat switches justice was in Make Them Cry. The switches absolutely suited the way that Drake approached the track as a whole. But if I were to generalize the beat selection quality of Iceman, I do definitely give it a solid 7.5 because of the overall variety that the soundscape brought. It had sample heavy and dark ambient production for introspective raps, grand production for flex and luxury rap, track production to recreate the long awaited anthem with Future, and even West Coast production for Drake's own take on it, which acts as a direct reply to the homage that Kendrick was paying in his disses. And the list goes on. There were very few features on this project, and to absolutely no one's surprise, 21 Savage's one was definitely the worst one. But to be fair to him, he didn't have much to work with cause he was only on the chorus. But let's talk about the feature that actually matters. The What a Time to Be Alive duo is finally back, and I always knew it was bound to happen cause even in Family Matters, Drake said that the separation from Pluto was what actually hurt him the most. And you can clearly see how much chemistry both Future and Drake have in Run to Atlanta. And I can't even lie, the way Future goes into this trap flow pockets truly makes him so elite. And Drake also flipped Kendrick's diss of Drake running to Atlanta to the run that Drake had himself. And if I talk about Moly Santana's part, she definitely carried the momentum from Pluto and had a decent small verse, although it was nothing crazy compared to what Drake and Pluto did on the track. But here's the thing, if Drake and Pluto can patch up again, I am definitely sure in the next 5 years, Cole and Drake will too. Cause whatever sneak disses he had for Cole was more disappointment, and he himself said that he loves Cole cause of the history. And if he could forgive Future, who curated 2 albums worth of Drake disses, he can definitely forgive Cole too, who has always showed love to Drake on tracks like Port Antonio and even post Fall Off in his interviews. Talking about the flows and deliveries, it was just usual Drake, nothing different, nothing surprising. As Drake is not really a flow-heavy rapper who has crazy switches and cadences. When he wants to get real technical with it, he has more of a slow, monotonous flow approach. Thus, I would have loved to see more of the unique flows that he doesn't usually do. Throughout the years, and especially in this decade, Drake has faced a major criticism that he really bloats up his projects with songs that are just skips and doesn't need to be there, thus decreasing the rigor of the project. But with Iceman, I felt Drake really tried his level best to decrease the bloat of the project. But he still ended up with songs like Shabang, Bees on the Table, and Don't Worry, which did not need to be on the album, causing the project to bloat again, just a bit less than his previous projects. Now, the main question, was Iceman perfect? Definitely not. But Drake did follow on through a lot of things that I wanted him to implement to this project. Iceman is doing very good commercially, both numbers wise and on the charts as well, which is very good for hip hop. Cause there were so many talks regarding how rap was struggling to be at the top of the charts, but guess what? Drake came and swept not only the charts but also broke several records as well. So as much as we need artists like Kendrick Lamar and J.Cole from the big three to maintain the artistic integrity of the genre, we also need somebody like a Drake, who is also a good artist himself, but he necessarily doesn't focuses too much on the lyricism and the concept of the project like the other two. But what he is best at is mixing everything up on a decent level and making the music very digestible for the rap audience as well as the non-rap audience. Now here are my top 10 songs of Iceman by Drake. At number 1 is Make Them Pay, at number 2 is Make Them Cry, at number 3 is Run to Atlanta. At number 4 is Janice Shut the F Up, at number 5 is Whisper My Name, and at number 6 is Little Birdie. At number 7 is What Did I Miss, at number 8 is Make Them Remember. At number 9 is Too Hard for the Radio, and finally at number 10 is National Treasure. Now here comes the moment that everybody has been waiting for. I will rate Iceman by Drake a 7.4 out of 10. That was all. Do share your thoughts on my album review, like this video, and please subscribe. I am on a mission to reach 1000 subscribers and change the rap scene forever. Iceman was just the start. I will be making reviews on all the recent drops by artists like Fake Mink, Lucky, Lil Shine, JPEG Mafia, Blade, and a lot of concept videos too. So that was all. Do subscribe for the best mainstream and underground rap content on the whole internet, and that's just a fact.